My name is Mulalo. I'm from Issuing Authority Subdirectorate. We deal with the permitting process for the alien and the invasive species. Like this?
Yes, now.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to do the presentation on the permitting process. This is the outline of my presentation. Hope you can see it. And then my first point there is the NEMBA AIS regulation. NEMBA AIS regulation is the baby from the NEMBA Act. It was developed from the NEMBA Act, 10 of 2004. Okay, let me start it. We have a constitution for the Republic of South Africa, and in section 24 of our constitution it talks about the environment, and it says everyone has the right to live in an environment that is healthy for their well-being, and that's not well-being, harmful for their well-being. And then it goes down that says that everyone has the right to be in an environment which is protected for the benefit of the present and the future generation. Through the reasonable legislation aiming to promote the conservation. And then from there we do have a NEMA Act, National Environmental Management Act 107 of 1998. NEMA Act is a statutory for Section 24. It was developed to enforce Section 24 of our Constitution. And then from there we have a baby out of NEMA, because NEMA is actually a framework of all environmental legislation. And then we developed a NEMA Act. NEMA Act is provide the management and the conservation of the ecosystem and other species. Then from there we developed the NEMA AIS regulation. NEMA AIS regulation was developed to prevent illegal introduction for the species that are coming into our countries, and then it also prevent the illegal activities that are done for the species that are already within our country. And then the next point on my presentation is why are we issuing a permit? And then the other one is the restricted activities, the other one is the risk assessment, the other one is the permit process, the next one is the fees for when you lodge the permit application with us. The NEMBA AIS regulation, it was published on the 1st of August 2014. And before that, the publishing of that, it was first published for public comment. And we did receive the comments from the public and other stakeholders, and then they were taken into consideration. And then from there, after we published that regulation in August, the regulation came into effect on the 1st of October 2014. That's when we started to issue our permit. And then this regulation was amended in 2020. We normally amend the regulation after 3 years. So which means we are going to amend it after 3 years. Just to check, because we normally check sometimes we do add another species, sometimes we remove, based on the comment that we receive from the public. And then that's the purpose of the regulation then. It says to prevent illegal introduction of the species and those that are potentially invasive. The other one is to regulate certain invasive species and the potential invasive species. Why do we issue a permit? We issue a permit to regulate the category 2 species. When we publish the regulation, we had a regulation and a list of the species that are been selected, that have been seen as invasive species. So on the list there we do have a category 2 species. And the other one, we have 3 categories. The first one is category 1A, that talks about the eradication of the species. The other one is category 1B, that talks about the control of the species. And the other one is category 2, the one that we issue a permit for. And that category is category 3. It talks about the exempted of those species. We issue a permit to regulate the imports of the alien and the listed invasive species. There are those people who might wish to bring a species that is not known to occur in our country here. So normally what we do before they bring those species there, we ask them to conduct a comprehensive risk assessment in terms of Regulation 16 of our regulation. And those who want to import species that is already known to occur in the country, and it's also listed under category 2, then they just want to bring it out of from the other countries, like can be our neighboring country or from England, somewhere out of the country. So those ones, they also need to apply the permit before they bring those species. And then what permit are we issuing for? We do have different restricted activities for those who want to apply for the listed invasive species or the alien invasive species. So the activities will be done the next slide. I'll explain them to you. And let me just emphasize one there. The hunting, we do not issue a permit for hunting. Hunting permit are issued by the province for those who wish to apply for mammals. And then we do issue a permit for research purposes. There are those people who want to do their studies with the listed invasive species or the alien invasive species for the species that are not known to occur in the country. So we normally request them to give us the research proposal, the name of the institution that they are going to use to do the research on, and then the address of the facility of that area, and then the period, how long are they going to take to do that research. I remember in the Northern Cape, Philip Ivy once applied for Rose University in the intern there. I did, it was for Prosopis. I'm sure that project is still going on. You are just expecting to get the results from them. Because after that research, when you are done, you need to tell us so that you can cancel the permit if it's not expired yet, and you need to show us the results of your findings on your research. And then, yeah, that's what we need to do. Then my next slide is about the restricted activities. We have different restricted activities, but ours we issue a permit for category 2 there. You see the category 2 species. Sorry. Yeah. This is our one is, sorry. We issue a permit for these species that are listed under these categories. For the other categories, we normally don't issue a permit for, unless if you just want to do a research. Then for research, we give them the permit. And the research activity normal that we issue for is for possession. Those who want to growing or breeding of the species, selling, transportation of the species from point A to point B. Can be invested in the Kimberley from Kimberley to Abington. You just need, before you transport that species, you need to get a permit from us. And then the other activities, even buying is an activity that we issue a permit for. I know people, they do buy, like on the auctions, the activity that goes on there for people just buy the listed invasive species and going to reduce them to their farm. So we have a challenge on that one. The other page is it's normally for the fish, the releasing of the fish. Those who want to take the fish from one facility to another, these are the activities that we issue for the permit for. And then species that need permits. We have 118 permit species that are listed under category 2. Under that, and then out of those 118, we have different taxas. As you can see, these are our taxas: marine invertebrate, freshwater invertebrate, freshwater fish, amphibians, birds, reptiles, and the plants. The next slide we'll be talking about the risk assessment. Under the AIS regulation there, we have, there's a section 60 that talks about the risk assessment. A risk assessment, we have two different risk assessments that we normally request when the applicants do send the applications. There's the risk assessment in terms of section 16. The risk assessment that we request for section 16 is, regulation 16 is a comprehensive risk assessment. That one we normally request it for those who are bringing the new species from other countries, the species that are normally not known to occur in the country. They go through that thing, they need to conduct the risk assessment. And that risk assessment must be conducted by the risk assessment practitioner. That person must be registered with the SATNAV. He must know at least the Act and the regulation and the other applicable legislation. He must also at least, when he on the process of doing that risk assessment, he must consult one of the experts. And then that risk assessment, when we receive it on our side, we send it to ASRAP. ASRAP is Alien Species Risk Assessment Panel Review. Is the one that also advises us before we allow that introduction to our country. And again, for that, on that section, for those who just want to introduce the new species in the facility, normally can be the breeding for fish or normal breeding, introducing like animal from this province to another province, or from other province to this province, and it's not known to occur in their farms there. So sometimes we ask them to conduct the same risk assessment, the comprehensive risk assessment, and it must be done by the risk assessment practitioner. And then we do have another risk assessment there for, it's a guide, we call it a guideline of information required. We do request it for those who are applying for the species within the country, and those species is one of for the species that are listed in our regulation there. So that one, the applicant can conduct it himself. They can, the applicant can do,
We're giving you a break, Mulalo. Just to catch your breath.
Chicken.
Testing. There we go. We're back.
Okay. I was talking about the guideline of information required, and I was saying we request that when you send us the PPT application for the listed invasive species, the one that are listed under category 2, the applicant can complete that. And in our office there, we always assist those who normally don't understand some of the questions there, but they're just 3 questions. Okay. This is the process that we normally go through when you apply for alien species. Remember, alien species for those species that are coming outside of the country. Okay. When the applicant identify the species that you want to bring into our countries and then send it to us together with the risk assessment conducted by the person who is registered with SACNAS. And then from there, our office will review that application. If we are able with it, we sometimes go and conduct the pre-inspection to check the facility or the farm or the area where the person is going to keep this species. And then after that, we put that report together. And then we send this risk assessment together with the PPT application. We send it to our ASRAP, the panel that reviewed this risk assessment. That panel, we have the different expertise there. Even the people from the province, they are also part of that panel, so that they can give their input before we continue issuing the permit. And then after ASRAP, they sent that their recommendation to us. And then the department, as a department, we will review that recommendation, and then from there we take a decision. Yeah, we take a decision. And then the next one is for the listed invasive species. These are the species that are not occurring in the country. And then the same process goes, the applicant conduct complete the permit application and put the species that you want to apply for. And then again, you attach the proof of payment. It must be also attached certified ID. That guideline of information required, there's the questions. The guideline of information required are just there to, so that the applicant can indicate the measures in place to ensure that the species are not going to spread, or whatever that is bringing some spread outside of the facilities. So it actually gives us the details. And then from there we conduct, we review that application. If everything is fine, we go and conduct the inspection. If we cannot go and conduct the pre-inspection, we ask one of the inspectors that are based in the provinces to go and conduct this inspection for us, and then send it back to us after they conduct that inspection. And then we attach it together with the application and send it to the province for their input. We request the province input all the time before we continue. We take our own decision. And then after the province give us the input, we sit down and take the decision whether we are processing, we are issuing this permit or we are rejecting. If we are rejecting, we normally put the reason why we are rejecting on that permit, that application. These are the prescribed fees that we normally request when the applicant put the application. For the import, the applicant are requested to pay 200. Whether it's the listed or the new species, your application must attach the proof of payment of 200. And for the other activities that can be possession, breeding, transporting, is 100. And then for renewal, it's 50 rand, and then for appeal it's 50 rand also. Okay, thank you.
Well done, Mulalo. Sorry. We have an opportunity for questions, ladies and gentlemen. If there are any questions that need to be asked with regards to AIS permitting? Nobody? Everybody else? Almal weet wat hulle moet doen? The most important telephone number is... No, okay. No.
Sorry. Good try.
Those numbers at the bottom, those are very important. If you need to get into contact with anybody in Cape Town, maybe make a note of it. But just remember, like I said, the entire today's proceedings are on Facebook, the Invasive Invasive Species SA Facebook page. So you'll be able to go back and check up on anything that has been said today. We're letting you off the hook? No questions. Then we have a question over there from the lady. The mic. One moment, please. There we go.
Good morning. I'm Natalie AIS from the local provincial nature conservation. We are now known as the Department of Agriculture, Environmental Affairs, Rural Development and Land Reform. My question is, are you collaborating with your customs and the guys issuing phytosanitary certificates, because we've been picking up indigenous species going out of the country and they're not checking all these requirements of other departments. And also, it's linked to that, people bring in seeds from overseas on their visits to a different country, and that's in their bag, and they're not aware that they need to go through this application process to bring in an alien species into the country, as I understand it.
let me start with the last one. For those who are bringing the seats, maybe they put them in the bag. We do have the inspectors at the port of entries. So normally if they are using OR travel, we do have the inspectors, they normally check what is inside their bags, and then if they find something that is legal, then they work together with the Department of Agriculture. That is also the port of entry. Yeah, it's very difficult maybe to say, yeah, it's inside the bag. Maybe they might fail to detect it, but we put our trust on those guys who are there, who are based there at the port of entry. So, yeah, I think Stian can take that one.
Naturally, I'm going to present after this one of the clients. I'll give you a little bit of background on what's happening at the airport.